All right, guys. So you guys voted for this because you don't like watching YouTube Shorts or TikToks or anything, even though those do well. You guys are praying for my downfall, obviously, chat. I'm just kidding. Anyway, it's about Anisa. I kind of saw her have a meltdown. I kind of want to talk about it a little bit more, a little more depth, a little more detail. iDubbbz and Anisa. I have a lot to say. I don't know. Something off about these individuals. Anyway, we're going to watch, I think his name is X8. Again, he's good content, man. God bless him. It's called Anisa Melts Down on Stream. Pretty good stuff. Really excited. Just so you guys know, like I always say, or this is really a new thing, but if any of the moments in the video resonate with you, timestamp down below. Helps me out a lot. Let's get this party started, okay?
This woman might be one of the craziest people on the internet. Anisa
Is it Lovely Peaches?
Joma, iDubbbz wife and handler had a meltdown on.
Damn, handler. That's rough, man. It's so interesting because it's hard to disagree with that. It really is. And I come from a world where I'm married to my wife, my love of my life, and she's very impactful. She tries to keep me under, regulation positively. We have lots of conversations. She's like my manager. But I feel like the dynamic between my wife and I is that I respect what she has to say, but I still make my own decisions. But I will say the energy, maybe I'm wrong about it, the energy that I get from iDubbbz and Anisa is that Anisa, like, she kind of controls him, for better or for worse. That's the energy I get out of it, personally. Maybe I'm wrong. Sue me if I'm wrong, all right? Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what it feels like.
Stream the other day, complaining about commentary YouTubers, saying they have no idea what it's like to work a 9 to 5.
Well, the best way to get commentary YouTubers to stop talking about you is to talk about commentary YouTubers. It's incredible.
While also saying that she might be more hated than Onision was during the peak of his expose.
Yeah, that's not true. I actually saw that. Listen, here's my thing. I have no idea, but does she ever work a real job? I'm sorry, I have like a cough. And I want to be very clear what I mean by that. It sounded like she was always a streamer. What is she? How old is she? And she's 32, so she's my age. When did they meet? I mean, there's so many questions because, like, have you ever worked a real job? And when I say that, it's not just a job. Working a real job, when I say that, I'm loading it. And I feel like people load it too. They just don't necessarily understand what they're loading it with. When I say, have you worked a real job, I'm not asking you if you've worked an actual real job. What I'm asking you is, have you ever been in a situation where you've had like life stress that made that job very real and a lot of the constraints around that job really like very real, right? It's one thing if you're an 18-year-old working a job, like, whatever. But when you're a grown person and you're paying your own bills and you have a life stress and you're being like taken advantage of at work and there's nothing you can do about it. And it's just really beating you down and breaking you down mentally and even physically. You're in a point where like you have so much despair, like you don't care about your own health and you're just, you don't care. And like your life is just spiraling. That's like a real job to me. And so from my understanding, Anisa and iDubbbz have been together for quite a while. And my thing is like, have you ever really worked like a real job? I mean, like, no offense, but it sounds like iDubbbz is the one that was successful and maybe you necessarily weren't. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm judging too much. But I mean, like, have you really worked a real job? Do you understand what it's like to get like just fucking suck dick? Well, you have OnlyFans, but you understand a career. It's like, have you worked a career? And McDonald's can be a career for people. I'm not judging if you've worked. There are people who work at McDonald's and they're older and they can make money. But like that's what I'm saying. They have that stress. They have that life stress of like, oh yeah, I did this thing and I had to do it. Like I understand what it's like to have like these particular stressors. And I'm just not convinced that Anisa has done that. Jack, what kind of comment is that? Papa, you're the same age as Jesus when he was murdered. I don't know why that made me uncomfortable and upset. That was wild, brother. Don't put that into my head. I don't want to get murdered, dude. Come on, stop it.
And a whole bunch of other deranged comments. You guys just have to watch this clip. I'm just going to play it straight away for you guys.
Hell yeah, bro.
Commentary YouTubers have no idea what it is to work a normal job.
And they're like, listen, commentary YouTubers is such like a vague thing. I'm a commentary YouTuber. I'm a drama queen. I like to observe the drama. I don't like to be part of the drama. I think that's what separates me a little bit from other content creators. I don't live it. I don't take it that seriously. I think some other people, not everybody, some other people watch the drama with like loaded, like a lot of these. Oh my God, did you see that fucking blah, blah, blah. Relax, But there's level truth to that. I'm thinking that she's specifically referring to like the commentary community, like what would you call it? You know, like I guess like the former Augie, right? Because he's been gone for such a long time, and I don't know, you know, what sad stuff. He seemed to have some potential and promise, but you know, I don't know. Now I hear that he's like fucking, I don't know what he's doing. I hear that he's one of the guys that picks up the golf balls at the golf stadiums. He goes over there and he drives the cart and gets out and has the big thing on his back to pick up golf balls so he doesn't get drilled. It's weird to choose that. But like that, like, you know, the Nicholas, the Oreos, I guess, the Turkey Toms, you know, they're all fine. Because I see that sometimes they goon a little hard on Twitter. I've had it happen to me before too. And you know what it is? You just kind of remove yourself from that sphere, and I feel like it's not that big of a deal. You know, it's not that really that big of a deal. It is what it is. I feel like that's what she's referring to. And it's like, I guess a lot of them maybe haven't worked real jobs. But again, like, have you? You know what I mean? Have you? That's kind of funny. Augie AFK. It's incredible.
Let alone put on a whole event. Okay?
Okay.
You have no clue.
I love that middle finger. You can see the just pure unbridled rage just immediately.
I mean, it's nice that you put on an event, but again, I feel like iDubbbz put on the event and you were there to help guide it. You know, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'm just being a silly little goose, but you know, for me, sorry, I'm really sorry. Like, for me, for the moment I met my wife, my life has gotten better. I'm going to get a little sappy, but I'm comparing it to his relationship. You know, I don't think I'd be as successful, and I'm doing well. Like, surprisingly, I'm doing probably equally to what I was doing before the big YouTube fall off. And I gauge that in different metrics, like financially, is probably the biggest metric. And I'm like, honest, I appreciate it, and I have less stress. Like, I like what I'm doing. I'm happy with what I'm doing. I talk honestly. I have significantly less stress, and I'm making around the same money. And since I've been with my wife, my life has gotten better. You know, when I first met her, I was like I managed the bus cleaning crew and it was fine. But like the job sucked and I left that and I went to go to school for computer science. And then this happened and she's very active with me. And the point that I'm making is like she's made my content better. So I would attribute a significant portion of myself and how successful I am to her helping me behind the scenes and like her having conversations with me and her like keeping me in check with getting a little too full of myself and other things that I've done wrong. You know, some people's criticisms were reasonable back then. I don't, and again, maybe I'm not up to date on the lore, but from my understanding, ever since she met iDubbbz, his career has gone into decline. And so that's fucking, you know, that's something to think about. My wife's made my content better and me a better person. And I'm not sure I agree with that with him. And like, I think the biggest, and again, I feel like some people don't know how to like, it's not like, maybe they don't articulate it well. I think that the idea is like, well, iDubbbz apologized for being edgy in the past. And like, that's so stupid because like he should apologize. But it's like, it's not like that he apologized. It's like how weird it got. It's how much energy was in the apology. It was fucking bizarre. You know, it's not like he said like, yeah, you know, I regret some of my content back then. Some of it was good, but I regret it. And you know what? I'm going to move forward and I'm going to be a better content creator and, you know, whatever. It was like, it was so full of itself. And maybe that's not the right word. It was so, it was just, the energy was so much. It's like when you have a mom who, you know, you're like, Mom, you know, you gave me trauma when I was growing up. And the mom's like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm a terrible mother. What that mom's doing is she's redirecting the conversation to her being a victim, whether it's intentional or not. Whereas the mom's like, well, I'm really sorry. Like, that's fucked up. Like, maybe we could talk about it. And you tell me what you need from me. It feels like that. Like, I remember he went on that podcast with that girl, some black woman, and like he got criticism that, what is it the guy's name? His name was Jinx. He does reaction content. His reactions were watching stuff and making funny faces. And now reactions, like, pretty popular. I do it. But like I would say I give at least like meaningful commentary. And her point was like, there's so many people doing it now, and like, you know, you canceled him for what white people are doing. And it's like, no, nobody even today is okay with that type of reaction commentary. And it's like he rolled over, he's like, yeah, you're right. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, he will just concede to anything anytime someone criticizes him for anything. It's a good thing to be like, yeah, I didn't like that I used to use like slurs. That's bad. But it's not just, it's an overcorrection to a point where it comes off as like cowardice. And that's, I think, where a lot of people are. And like, that's what frustrates me, because he seems like a decent guy. I don't think Anisa is a bad person either. But a problem is he seems like such a pushover. And when you're a pushover in a relationship, like, you're not setting boundaries for your partner and everybody looks like shit. Like, and that's the reality of this situation. You know, I can be difficult in relationships. I can sometimes unintentionally steamroll people. It's something I'm working on. Like my wife, it's like a weird stuff. Like my wife, it's a behavior that she's like, we've really been working on, is that sometimes I'll do too much. Like maybe I'll offer to pay too much, or I'll do this too much, and it's like weird. But you know, I'm a man, so like to me, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's like too much. Sometimes I offer too many things, and I put people in uncomfortable situations where like I'm trying to help, but it's too much. Like I'll give advice without people necessarily asking, and it's hard to articulate this specific problem, but sometimes I'll try to make decisions for people that I think is the right decision when it's not. And, you know, and that's like, you know, I could see that as maybe part of the Anisa has like a little bit of a steamroll personality, and iDubbbz doesn't set like firm boundaries with her, and it just seems to like, you realize like it looks bad overall. He doesn't seem to advocate for himself. He lets her advocate too much for him. Does that make sense? Yeah. Hopefully it's making sense to some people. Thank you so much for the $20 from Danny Animated. I'm sorry I didn't read it earlier. Finally call you live. I'm a truck driver and I listen to your stuff all the time. About to listen when I shower. Enjoy your weekend. Well, thank you so much. Somebody came in before and asked me how many people listen to me while I shower, so I giggled because of that. That was like maybe a half hour, an hour ago. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. And God bless you. I really respect truck drivers. I fucking hate that job personally. That stuff. Hopefully you get to see your family every day. So
In her face, and she flips off the camera. Holy shit. She is pissed. And someone replied with some amazing fan art that really just shows the rage that she's
this is transphobic, dude.
producing in this clip. But it keeps
I mean, she does look non-binary. Maybe, hey, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with that, okay?
going. It keeps getting worse. Let's keep watching.
You fuckers that are looking at this right now, I know that you would fucking cry if I said something to you in real life. I know you would cry.
I feel like you might cry. You seem like you're worked up, and that's okay. Some people cry to vent their frustrations, but this is a little bizarre.
How do I know? Because I've done it to one of you fuckers in real life, and you have cried.
Who? And how old were they? Because, you know, I mean, you're going to yell at a kid? It's kind of fucking weird.
Dude keeps editing the middle finger in there. It's cracking me up. But I was wondering watching this clip, who the fuck is she talking about that she made cry? Is it Ian, her husband, and Mana G? No, she's actually referencing Rusty Cage.
Who the fuck is Rusty Cage? Is that like a cock cage? A rusty cock cage or something? Okay, interesting. All right.
Because apparently Rusty Cage just apologized to her for tweeting out something pro Froggy Fresh during the creator clash shit. Just
who cares? That whole situation is like so stupidly loaded.
Watch this clip.
I paid money, I'm on the floor seats, and I see like some shenanigans going down. I take a photo of it. It's just people holding up a sign. It said,
how old is this guy? Looks like a child. What the fuck?
Froggy did nothing wrong. Like,
seemingly innocuous.
Yeah, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, I saw the whole thing going. It's not even like worth talking about. Like, he had Sam Hyde as a manager. I think it's fine for, by the way, I think it's perfectly reasonable for iDubbbz to not want to associate with Sam Hyde in any capacity. You know, even if I do think that iDubbbz is kind of a cuck, like I can understand like wanting to set that hard boundary of somebody insulting your wife. So I get it. But like, it's a fucking sign. Like, you let it go, you know?
Yeah, right. I go to this like after event, and Anisa comes up to me. She comes up and says, that tweet was really not cool, and I just apologized. I felt kind of like a bitch. I was like, why the fuck did I apologize?
So yeah.
Pussy.
Yeah, she really made Rusty Cage cry and bawl his eyes out. She approached him completely unprovoked and said random shit about how his tweet wasn't cool, just for saying Froggy Fresh did nothing wrong. And
why is she like, I mean, I don't know who Rusty Cage is. Oop, wrong video, sorry. I don't know who Rusty Cage is, and that's not like an insult. Most people don't know who the fuck I am. He might even be bigger than me. Who knows? Let's see. Oh, he's fucking hugely bigger than me. Right there we go. So this is Rusty Cage, right? He looks like a song guy or something. I don't really know. My thing, I guess that's why she responded to him, because he's like somebody that actually has like a say, it gets a lot of views or something. But like, why respond to these people? Like, why give them the satisfaction of like even letting them know that they're on your radar? Seems weird to me.
he said sorry in the moment. Probably because she came across looking deranged and crazy.
Well, he probably said sorry in the moment because he felt bad. Like, that's probably as deep as it is, you know?
Crazy. Probably looking like this.
Like, she was probably upset and he's like, oh, sorry, you know? And then afterwards, like, oh, I shouldn't apologize. But, like, why get into the confrontation? You know what I mean?
Honestly, directly to Rusty Cage's face. And at this point, it wasn't really fully known just how unhinged she is. So Rusty Cage probably was taken aback just by shock. He was like, damn, okay, my bad, sorry.
I mean, maybe. And then I just think, again, like, it's just like a normal behavior. Somebody's like, hey, I didn't like that you did this. Oh, sorry. more of just like to diffuse the situation because it's not really something like it's not that deep. I'm not gonna live and die on my sign about Froggy Fresh.
Playing it up a little bit in an interview with Brandon Buckingham, saying I felt like a bitch. But of course, she remembers every single detail of that. She's been thinking about this every day, fantasizing about the time she made Rusty Cage say sorry.
Maybe it's like really like powerful to her. Maybe she feels like a powerful feminist woman after she. I'm being fucking so stupid. After she thinks about that, like, yeah, I stood up to this fucking oppressive man. You know what I mean?
And she's like, I can make commentary YouTubers tremble at my feet in fear. Just completely living in fantasy land. But it keeps going. Let's watch.
It's so crazy because I like iDubbbz and Anisa, like people that I'd like to like them. Like I'd like to like Ethan Klein. I think I'm starting to like Ethan Klein more though. But it's like it's so hard to. Because they're just fucking cringe.
This is the truth, okay? Ian keeps me on a leash, okay? And I'm okay with
that. Sounds kind of sexual, girl.
that because
I would have thought it was the other way around, personally.
I need to be on a leash. I need to be on a leash, a tight leash, to be honest.
That's
because
hot.
I am unhinged.
Is that on your OnlyFans? I'm just wondering.
She's finally
Fuck you, mom. Oh, it's fucking weird.
saying what we've all been thinking. It is true. She definitely needs to be on a leash, probably a tighter one than what Ian is doing right now, because I don't think that man has the guts to keep her on a leash at all. She's definitely bullshitting. If he did, she wouldn't be having this kind of unhinged meltdown on stream. That's
Well, I mean, he probably is. When they say on a leash, he's trying to make it sound tough, but it sounds like Ian is just like, hey, it's not worth it. Please don't do anything else because you're just feeding them more so that they can talk more about it, which is true. And then she finally got frustrated. And I understand fundamentally, like, getting frustrated. I do understand, like, getting to that point where you're just, like, so irritated. So she feels like she needs to respond. But, like, on a leash, it sounds like so much more loaded than what it probably really is, which is not that deep.
It's insane. And it keeps going. She's about to talk about Anisa on here, which is just, it's the biggest eye roll I've ever seen.
I feel like more people hate me than Onision.
That's crazy, girl. This looks cool.
And maybe it's because I'm in it, like I'm seeing it.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
But that's what it feels like. It feels like I quit college to become the most hated person on YouTube.
Based alert, in my opinion. Quit college to be, that's what I'm saying. Like, you were in college. And again, I went back to college for a little while when I was working a real job. But, like, were you working a real job, or were you just, like, going back to, were you in college and then you met Ian? Ian is such a sweetie pie, a sweetie buckle. What am I saying? And you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. The whole, I'm going back to the whole real job thing, I guess. I'm harping on too much.
Is this woman serious? Is she for real? Did she pay any attention at all to anything that was going on during the Onision era? She thinks because she gets clowned on about her terrible events, Creator Clash, and
yeah, seemed to lose some money, so.
Also just called a moron.
I think that didn't they have like a lawsuit about it or something, because part of it was the Bull Blacks video or something like that, or they got questioned or something. It wasn't that part of it. She had like fucking meltdown about that too.
Ron for the stupid idiotic takes she posts.
Bro, WoW player is a real job when I do it
on Twitter, that somehow she's treated as poorly as Onision. I mean, she really just lives in fairy tale land. I want whatever she's on right now, because clearly this gives you so much energy. Actually, no, I changed my mind. I take it back. I don't want whatever she's smoking, because it turns you into whatever the fuck this is.
Come on, bro. It's not nice.
And it keeps getting worse. She then tries to flex her credentials to say that she's justified to run Creator Clash. And her credentials are unironically that she worked at Dairy Queen and PetSmart. Listen to this.
That's the other thing that a lot of these people assume, is that I never worked a real job. Bro, I didn't get on the internet until I was 21.
All right, so I was right. Like I said, there's a difference between a real job and like a career where you have the stresses of life on you. You didn't have the stress of life on you at fucking 21 years old. I worked at Dairy Queen for 3 fucking months, bro. I worked at a bus company as a manager for like, well, I guess like 6 years as the manager, but like 11 years. And it wasn't the worst thing in the world. But like, you know, they took away your benefits and shit sometimes. The union didn't protect you. It was fucking dog shit, man. Like, and I actually had like financial stressors. I eat myself to death. You know, it's terrible stuff. I had a salad for the first time in my life today. I've been working out since January, back into the gym. And I was like, you know what? I should start eating more roughage, I like to call it. Sounds more masculine. I'm eating. Let me have some greens. Let me have this romaine salad. Gay. Sorry. I like to eat some roughage. So I had a nice salad from Costco, and it was fucking actually good. I didn't put the sauce on it. It was excellent. Like I had a salad and a hot dog, which for me is not a lot. Hot dog's like $5.80. Salad said about $6.80, but I didn't have the cream. So I think it was probably like 400 calories. So, and I feel I ate 11. I guess I ate about 1,000 calories today so far, maybe a little more. And I feel more full than when I had a hot dog and a slice of pizza yesterday. The pizza is 700, you know. So like I feel more full. But anyway, my point is, I don't think that she's ever had like the real stressors of life. Come on.
I had to pay for my own I was in college working like a fucking serving job.
Wow, crazy.
Okay?
Your mom didn't help you with your loans? No way.
I was doing both. I had 4 to 5 classes a semester.
Wow, that's school.
And then I would go work a serving job.
Okay, and I'm assuming it was part-time. I don't know. Either way, good for you.
Okay? And before that, I worked at a pet store.
Wow, those sound like tough jobs.
And a Dairy Queen.
No, I can't do salad dressing. It's too much for me. I liked it. Was a chicken. It was chicken, romaine lettuce, the cheese, and croutons. It was so fucking. I would get it right now, but it's 9:00 at night. It's actually really good. I kind of want more of it because I feel good afterwards. My feet don't hurt, you know.
Because I function in society. And then,
bro, I'm pretty sure Nicholas Diorio works as a server at a pizza restaurant. I could swear that's something that I remember, and that's one of the people in that sphere that she's referring to. So they work real jobs too. I don't know why, because they could probably be more successful. You know, I think they've kicked up some of their content creation, which is good for them. You know, but I mean, you know, so hey, there you go.
Then I got lucky, right?
I got lucky and I found iDubbbz.
Got lucky and I started making money on the internet, so I quit.
Whoa.
So just to be clear, everyone in the comments, before you criticize Anisa or Creator Clash, make sure to submit records of your Dairy Queen employment. Otherwise, she can't take you seriously. That's actually the state that we're at with the way that she's handling this backlash that she's been getting.
I think that what's really going through her, and like I said, I just don't believe that she works like a real job. Okay, I just got to thank you so much, Danny Animated, for the small guy. This motherfucker is a truck driver. That's a real goddamn job, okay? Because he probably has life stressors that actually make him have to like pay bills and like be frustrated by money intake and you know, output and input, right? I think what it is that there are a lot of people on the internet who don't really work, and it's like a lot of young people, especially in the sphere that she's in, that she gets criticized by. That's the sphere that people actually enjoy her in. Let's be real, and not necessarily like her, but like that's what they enjoy talking about her, and I'll get into that a little more. And like, so compared to them, she's like, I'm so much more mature than you guys. Yeah, because they're 16, bro. You're like 20 something now, or 30. I don't even know. I don't care. You know, no shit, they're less mature than you. Why don't you take an active effort? You already do something with computers. Why do I think he does pizza? He's a computer science degree. I thought he did pizza. Why do I feel like he does pizza? Why did I feel like maybe I just want pizza? Maybe he used to do something in pizza. It's been a while since I've talked to any of these people. There's nothing wrong with doing pizza. But next time he goes to that pinball place, I'm going to bomb it. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. Wait, I'm editing that out. I'm editing that out of the video. Anyway, my point is, you know, have you ever considered trying to remove yourself from that community? And the way you would remove yourself from that community is to introduce yourself to a new community and just do something entertaining that people might like. I don't know. And it's easier said than done, but, you know, do something. Like, all you guys do is go on the computer and complain. I don't know. Do something. Do something. Am I racist to Italians? 100%. Absolutely. Just kidding. All my friends are Italians. The things I say to them in private are disgusting, honestly. They're actually insane. Like, like they're really terrible, I say to them. So it's funny. We have like a nice back and forth. But anyway, like I'm saying, like, you know, trying to get into a different sphere, do something. You guys are just kind of like riding your coattails of your old, you know, careers, or iDubbbz career, really. Do something else. Like, I know you have a podcast. I don't think anybody's like particularly interested. And I don't know. I don't know what they could really say in that podcast that would like be like, oh wow, like this is really like resonating with me, other than complaining about fucking Creator Clash. Like, what else is there? You know, they don't really have much of an audience left because they pretty much like spit in all their faces. And again, it's fine that you became less edgy, but like those people grew up too. And I feel like if they didn't like, because I feel like my perspective on them is the more normal, where it's like, yeah, I think it's great that they apologize, or iDubbbz apologize, but it was like too much. And so that audience doesn't want to engage with your shit either because they don't appreciate how you are overcorrecting. So it's just like, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Just
the event, which by the way, wasn't that like over a year ago? How is she still melting down about this? It's just like the In Praise of Shadows guy that I talked about in the last couple videos.
this guy, where
He's been melting down for the last 2 years about his Hills Have Eyes video.
Yeah, this dude is getting fucking dumpstered by everybody. I've seen everybody making videos about him. It's actually crazy. I didn't think he was gonna get hit so hard, but Wendigoon seems to be a loved character. It's crazy.
It's almost like a one-to-one situation. Like she just cannot stop talking.
But it's nice because nobody got mad at me when I said he was a little cringe, you know, because he seems like, I mean, he's obviously makes better content than me, but like some of the stuff is a little cringe. Like some of the God stuff is a little gay, you know. Well, I got to stop using that as majority. You know, but there's nothing wrong with that. God bless. By the way, I'm a little bit of a weird guy. Okay, but nobody got mad at me for that, so that's good, right?
About Creator Clash 2 and all the backlash that came from it. I don't understand how it's possible. But I got something else I want to show you guys. Bezo tweeted out a hilarious clip.
Bro, the guy, Praise of Shadows, is upset because 2020 ended and views fell off for everybody, and he thinks that it's because he made conservatives upset 3 years ago. It's like, okay.
Today, titled, Anisa came back to streaming today and immediately started talking about Ian's IBS. Her evil knows no bounds.
Why does that matter?
Listen to this.
As soon as gluten enters his system, any gluten, his body thinks that he's like it's a something bad. It attacks it.
Have you guys ever considered maybe God is trying to tell you something? Maybe God is just trying to tell you something. You know, I'm just kidding.
And so his intestines and stomach get inflamed. So when he just eats gluten, the only thing that happens to him is that he like gets a lot of pressure in his stomach, and his like he basically like he's not regular, right? Everything's like very not regular. Like
yeah, that makes sense. My what I would say, because my understanding is that gluten allergy is, and you have like basically you have an allergy of bread. So I would try this delicious thing called non-bread. It's not bread. It's called non-bread. I think it's NON. It's delicious. I think it's like I think it's some kind of Indian. It tastes great. It tastes like real bread. It's fucking delicious. So maybe try that out.
He was going to the bathroom 3 times a day.
Incredible.
So, and that's just with the gluten. But if he has gluten and then has dairy, that's a problem. That's when it becomes very obvious. Or if he has gluten and he has alcohol, that's a problem.
What the fuck?
I'm not understanding what matters about that. Like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 10. Anisa came back streaming today and immediately started talking about iDubbbz. Her evil knows that. Why is this evil? Like, this doesn't seem evil. It seems like a pedantic criticism. She's talking about his fucking poops. Like, whatever, dude. I talk about my poops too. I feel like this is one of those times where it's like, oh, this doesn't seem like anything. Why are you guys getting upset by this? Like, who gives a shit about it? It doesn't matter.
Why does she talk about Ian as if he's like a pet dog?
That's unmarried behavior, just to be absolutely honest with you. You're not married. I can understand that. She's just talking about her husband. Like, that one's not, like, just because she's cringe doesn't mean that everything that she says and does is cringe. Like, that's a normal thing. She's like, yeah, maybe she's talking, she's letting out personal information, I guess you could say. That's fine if you want to be like, oh, this is weird that you're doing that. That's fine. But this is like normal married behavior. It's really not that big of a deal. Like, you're fucking, this is where you show like you're terminally outlined a little bit with that one. But it's really not that deep. She's not talking to like about him like a dog. She's talking about him like he has fucking IBS. You know,
like literally, if it wasn't clarified here that it was Ian's IBS in the caption by Bezel, I would unironically think that she's talking about like a dog or like a pet.
Okay.
What the fuck is wrong with this woman?
That's a weird criticism, but okay.
She continues where Bezel says,
oh yeah, pita bread's good too because it's made out of dogs. Pita, right?
Anisa details a time Ian almost had an accident on a drive to Canada. You've got to be kidding me.
This one was really bad. We were driving from Edmonton.
I feel like some of you guys are a little too obsessed with iDubbbz and fucking like hate watching it. This one's weird. The first one, great criticism. That, you know, she's fucking having a meltdown, but the rest of it's just like, this is so dumb.
Seattle to Edmonton,
we
had stopped for Tim Hortons, and he had gotten
Timmy Ho's, baby. I've never been there before.
Donuts and a double. In Canada, we don't use oil-based creamers. We use cream creamers. So the combination of the gluten from the donuts plus the lactose caused him to have an emergency. Like, he had to like stop the car.
Shit, that's rough, man. You really got a duty that bad? That's crazy.
And like,
that's why sometimes, I have poop problems sometimes too. I'm on metformin. I'm obese and I have diabetes. So, I sometimes will try to prepare for this kind of stuff. It's not as bad as that, but you know what I'll do? I'll take a fucking Imodium. I'll take an Imodium. I pre-plan to not shit. The only problem is if you take an Imodium and you don't go poopies, that means that if you eat too much, you'll start throwing up. I've happened to me once or twice. It's kind of disgusting and embarrassing that that's ever happened to me. Like, that just shows a profound lack of self-control. To be absolutely real, but yeah, that's the thing that happened. Though, that's pretty cool, huh?
Like, he thought he was gonna have to go in the woods because it was so bad, but we ended up finding a bathroom.
Why is she saying any of this? What the fuck is this?
It just sounds like she's talking about her life, man. It's not that big of a deal. This is like normal conversation for like adults with poops problems,
What is going on, man? So the takeaway of today is that Anisa knows what she's doing with Creator Clash because she worked at Dairy Queen. And
well, I think the takeaway really is that like Anisa needs to stop giving a shit about people that are fucking criticizing her, especially since it seems like half the time it's just about her talking about her husband's IBS, and that somehow is a bad thing. I don't understand that. And she needs to just like let it go and like maybe do something else content wise if she wants to be observed by different communities.
Ian can't help but shit his pants, I guess, because...
Like, why are they still talking about Creator Clash? I know that they were complaining about the Bull Blacks thing. It's like, dude, get over it. Just move on. Like, why are you complain to yourselves? Like I always say, when people complain on the internet, like, do you have a friend? Talk to your friend. Talk to yourselves. You guys are fucking content creators together. You know that what like talking about that is stupid and unproductive. It doesn't help at all. It doesn't make any sense. Like, Bull Blacks made a video about you guys, like I think it was just like kind of to some extent botching Creator Clash, which is true. They lost money on it, and it was like funny. People made fun of them for it, and now you're coping about it. It's fucking crazy.
Anisa just can't help herself and tell every detail of that man's life. But I just want to end it off with an amazing clip here from the stream that iDubbbz did where he was raising money for all the charity money that they lost in Creator Clash 2. Just watch this. This is perfect.
I'm reading Twitter right now.
Yeah, sorry. I just saw Keffel's tweet, like, shitting on Nicholas Diorio. I fucking love that community. God damn.
Which community do you love? I wonder what he meant by that. I wonder if he's saying that they're all basically goblins, or if he's saying he likes Keffels. Personally, I don't think there's enough context for me to really make too much commentary about that. I don't really know what he was talking about there. There's so many ways that could be interpreted. He might have been like, "Oh, I love that community of Keffels bullying Nick," or "Oh, I love that," which is, by the way, Keffels is a fucking loser. Or it could have just been like, "Oh, I love like that community of like commentary people being toxic at each other," because Keffels is a drama fucking YouTuber. Okay, same, but she likes to pretend that she's not.
Fucking love the Keffels community so much. Oh my god, Tipster and Keffels, that's like the best combination of YouTubers ever.
True.
This couple is just deranged. They're just
like I said, I don't know that might have been what they meant, but I don't necessarily know if that's what they meant.
Totally deranged. Anyway, that's all I got to say. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Well, that was nice, short and sweet. Just like my wife's. Well, let's move on.